I'd like to call the February 24th, 2026 meeting to order. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence to remember the service and sacrifices of the armed service members who protect our nation and the first responders who protect our neighborhoods.
Can I add
Absolutely.
somebody? The people of Ukraine on this 4-year anniversary of when the war started.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg.
Here.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Here.
Councilmember Freelander.
Here.
Councilmember Royak. Councilmember Friday.
Here.
Councilmember Quinn.
Here.
Councilmember Kelly. Council Vice President Sackett.
Here.
Council President Morrison.
Here. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the Daily Record and the official newspapers for the Township of Rockaway. Notice was posted on the official bulletin boards of Rockaway Township website, and notice was filed in the office of the Township. Approval of the minutes, February 10th Township Council meeting. Can I have a motion?
Council President?
Yes.
I'm going to make a motion to table the minutes, and I'll tell you why. We did get an email from the clerk on the 20th of February, only asking for motion corrections of who first or seconded them, and we dealt with some roll call. But in the minutes, it has some incorrect statements on, for instance, approval of minutes for February 10th. It should read January 26th instead. Obviously, we had a duplication of the appointment of Labor Council and the mayor appointment advice and consent. And the other thing that wasn't included was my objection to your decision not to remove R2644 from the consent agenda for a separate vote. So because of those incorrections, either A, we make a motion to correct those corrections, or we table it until the next meeting to have those corrections made.
What's your opinion on that, Mr. Achafano?
First, Council President, I'm not sure I understand what Councilman Kelly is saying and what needs to be corrected. Ordinarily, the process for correcting minutes should be when the minutes are released. The clerk and the council president should be notified of any potential corrections. Then they should be investigated. Obviously, in a simple case, what the clerk should do is to check the tape of the meetings or the meeting involved at the correct point, report to the council. If a correction is in order, if you want to do it the official way and the most appropriate way, the correction should be noted, should be voted on by the council, who would direct the clerk to formally correct the minutes of whatever meeting it was.
Okay, so I know the procedure is to send an email to the clerk and myself. I saw there was an email that you sent to the clerk about the roll call vote on the consent agenda, which I agree with, and that was corrected.
There was nothing else requested from the clerk to do anything otherwise.
No. It wouldn't be for her. When Councilman Kelly sent the email to correct this item, did he bring up the other two items that he just did?
He did not.
Okay.
But that's not what was requested in the email from the clerk. She only requested for corrections on vote and motions. So here we are looking at this right now, approval of minutes. How could we already have a vote on February 10th minutes to approve them when they never took place?
I know that doesn't substantially change the.
Well, it does. It's
the body,
incorrect.
Mr. Kelly.
And then I also objected against the removal of R2644 for a separate vote. And then, I challenged it and you didn't follow the code.
Right.
But that wasn't noted in there.
Okay.
And then, of course, my vote was incorrectly recorded, which the clerk did correct.
She did correct.
I appreciate that.
Now, again, whether she specifically put in the wording, if there's anything else that you would like to put in to have corrected, understanding, the way that you handle your emails, I'm not buying that you didn't respond because she didn't explicitly give you.
Well, it's interesting though, Council President, that when I ask about why weren't contracts provided to us for review before we vote, Did you ask for them? So I responded the same way that she responds or the clerk's office responds. So, I mean, is it good for one way, but not good for the other way?
Well, no, if anything, Councilman, this would further bolster the argument that you didn't, you weren't provided the contract because you didn't ask, okay?
Well, we
And
weren't
then in this-
provided the
Mr.
contract
Kelly-
as we're
Mr.
supposed
Kelly,
to
I'm
receive
talking.
them.
Mr. Kelly, I'm talking. I allow you to talk, please.
Yeah,
allow
I'm
me
going to
talk.
respond to everything that you make, though.
So understanding that you could have made the request, you did not. The other errors that you are calling an error do not substantially change the body of the minutes. If you want to make a motion to table them, that is your right. And if you're going to do that, I ask you to do that now.
Well, Mr. Morrison, I can withdraw that motion and I can make a motion to correct the minutes to reflect the correct date of the approved minutes, which should be January 26th. And also to include where I objected the removal, because we don't have any of that information on here in regards to the consent agenda. So I think it's necessary, especially when the code wasn't applied, to have the council vote on the objection of your decision not to remove a particular item on a consent agenda, knowing that a council member or this complete council does not have full consent or a motion isn't required. I think that should be recorded in there.
So you're saying the code as
Under
ciphered-
251,
Again, I allow you to talk without
just correcting me,
interrupting.
that's all.
I'm just saying the code as deciphered by you was not.
Well, then maybe you should decipher the code to us then, because the quorum code that we have that you're supposed to follow, that was created by Mr. Yatrafano or amended,
Mhm.
if there's a difference from the decision of the council president, one can object and then it would do a roll call vote for the council to decide. So I objected to you not removing R2644 because I was not supporting Labor Council or the other council because we did not receive the contracts as the council as a whole, not just me. The council never received any contracts.
you never asked for the contract.
It doesn't matter. We never received them. We should be getting.
Matters completely. That's the whole.
Well, it's
basis
not.
of
That's
your
like
argument.
saying, you know what, Council President, I didn't receive the resolution. I don't have to ask for every resolution or ordinance to receive it in my council packet to make a fair assessment and vote accordingly to.
But once you saw that it wasn't included, you waited until the meeting to try for one of your gotcha.
It wasn't a
moments.
got you moment.
And it
Why would
didn't
I
work.
have to
Mr.
ask
Yatrafano?
Council President twice? If the first time we went through this
Mr. Kelly,
in late January, why would it continue? You're supposed to give us contracts to vote on.
Okay.
But all I'm talking about today is just minutes.
so here's
So the
what I'm.
minutes are incorrect.
So here's what I will allow. If you would like to make a motion to table the minutes for the purposes of later providing to the council your changes, okay?
It's not my changes. It's to reflect the record.
You're making the motion, they're your changes. It's your interpretation of the record. So again, and I think that this is very fair. If you would like to make a motion to table the minutes and then send an email in writing of the changes that you would like to put out there to the council for consideration, then that's what I will allow. And I think that's very fair.
I think it's a little bit better to address where I would table the minutes to reflect the accurate record of what was conveyed regarding the consent agenda and the date correction.
Okay.
We've already addressed the consent agenda vote.
Mr.
So
Kelly, I
it's
feel
not
that
my interpretation. I'm only going by the
You're the one
record.
making the motion. Mr. Kelly, here's the final statement. And I'm going to ask this as a yes or no question. Would you like to make a motion to table the minutes and then provide to the council and the clerk the changes that you would like to make? Yes or no?
Mr. Morrison,
It's a yes or- if
I am
you do
making,
not answer the
I am making a
affirmative or
motion.
negative,
I'm making
I'm going to move on.
I'm making a motion. I'm making a motion.
Yep.
To table the minutes.
Okay.
So that the clerk department can accurately depict those concerns that I had just raised on the date of the minutes that were approved, which February 10th is incorrect. We know
Yep.
that. And also where I object to your
Yes.
decision not to remove
Mhm.
for a separate vote, R2644.
Okay.
That's my
Council
motion.
The
President,
motion is on the table.
Council President, can I just speak real quick? about.
Wait a second.
minutes.
There's a motion on the table. Let's see if there's a second and then we will. So there's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Matters.
Okay, moving on. Make a motion for the approval of the minutes for the February 10th Township Council. Can I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander.
Yes.
Councilmember Royak.
Yes.
Councilmember Frede.
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly.
No.
Council Vice President Sackett.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 8 yeses, 1 no, motion passes.
Council President, before you move on to item 7,
Yes.
the description on the agenda is not sufficiently comprehensive. If you'll allow me to approach, I'll give you the description that should be read into the record.
Sure. Okay, O-2607, an ordinance of the Township of Rockaway deleting sections 54-45 entitled Fair Share Housing Requirements, deleting section 54-46 entitled Affirmative Marketing of Affordable Units, deleting section 54-47 entitled Municipal Housing Liaison, deleting section 54-48 entitled Mandatory Affordable Housing Set Aside, deleting chapter 53 entitled Mandatory Development Fee, and creating chapter 8 entitled Affordable Housing Requirements. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, before we vote, just can you or Ms. Ferrante just give a brief 2-minute on what this is and why the change?
Yes, good evening. In accordance with the 4th round of affordable housing requirements, we need to pass certain ordinances and mechanisms. Before tonight, we had 4 land use related ordinances. This is the affordable housing, let's say, administrative items, allows us to charge, allows us to collect and administer affordable housing. In the past, they have been part of Chapter 54 Land Use Ordinance, and now we are taking them out of Chapter 54 and a standalone Chapter 8 of the Municipal Code.
Okay,
That will greatly reduce
and these are
notice
the
requirements.
4 sections or the 4 areas that we've spoken about previously.
Correct.
Okay.
And there is a state template that is provided.
Any quick question for Mr. Achafano? Yeah. Mr. Achafano, what was just read, did the public receive that or have access to this seeing what was read on the record?
Yes, all of this has been published to the public previously. All the ordinances have been either introduced or made available to the public. Am I correct, Allison?
I'm only asking because you made a correction on the 2607 and then provided something to the council president to read. And I'm just making sure that the public,
It appears that this is just an error in what was printed on here, and the ordinance that was handed to me was just a further.
but is it the same ordinance that we have in the packet that you just read? And the same ordinance that would be obtainable for the public to review? Is
It's
that
the
the
same
same?
ordinance that has been presented to this council all year so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
So,
that's all.
okay, so there is a motion and there is a second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander.
Yes.
Councilmember Royak.
Yes.
Councilmember Frede.
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly.
Yes.
Council Vice President Sackett.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 9 yeses, motion carries. Ordinances for adoption. O-2601, ordinance providing for PFAS remediation in and by the Township of Rockaway in the County of Morris, New Jersey, and appropriating $864,737.74, therefore from monies available in the reserve for PFAS remediation of the township. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this ordinance only? Is there any? I'm sorry, if you wish to speak, please come up to the mic. Name and address for the record, and there is a 3-minute time limit.
Bruce Weiner, 24111 Freddie Lane in Rockaway, New Jersey. Well, Walter, New Jersey, which is Rockaway, New Jersey. Don't ask, don't tell, don't whatever. Anyway, I'm very concerned about affordable housing.
I'm sorry, this one is not affordable housing. This
is water.
Remediation.
Okay, I thought we just talked about,
That motion is passed already.
But that was an introduction.
That
with-
motion is over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We're going to have open to the public for anything else in a little bit.
No problem.
And Council President, can we just remind the public that this is not funds coming from taxpayers' money? This is coming from
Yep.
DuPont.
Okay. Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to speak? Any council discussion?
Just what I had mentioned before, just to
Yeah.
make the public aware. Thank you.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander,
Yes.
Councilmember Royak,
Yes.
Councilmember Frede,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Yes.
Council Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 9 yeses, motion carries. O-2602, an ordinance amending Chapter 2 Administrative Code, Article 9, Section 2-48.4, Wedding and Civil Union Ceremonies of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Rockaway.
Motion.
Second.
Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak on this ordinance only? Is there any council discussion? Clerk.
I have a quick question. Mayor, how many weddings do you think you do? I mean, I always see the photos and I know that you're very involved and some that we don't even see photos, but what do you think you hit a year?
Probably close to 20 a year
For real?
for reals. That's hence this and generating some extra revenue.
Yeah, great.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander,
Yes.
Councilmember Royak,
Yes.
Councilmember Frede,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Yes.
Council Vice President Sackett,
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, that is 9 yeses, motion carries. The next resolution was put in at the behest of Council Vice President Sackett, and I'd like to turn the meeting over to him for a few minutes to talk about it.
Thank you, Council President. Excuse me tonight. I am feeling a little under the weather, but I want to make sure I'm here for this meeting. So this resolution is a resolution 26-51, opposing the location of Immigration and Customs Enforcement Processing Detention Facility within the Township of Roxbury and endorsing Executive Order Number 12 made by Governor Sherrill on February 11, 2026. And the reason I brought this resolution to our town is to support our neighbors in Roxbury, fellow town in Morris County. And this has been well thought out. This has been going around our county. Numerous towns are in support of Roxbury. And this is I feel this is the right thing to do for our town. And I hope everyone will support it. And always happy to support our neighboring towns throughout Morris County. Thank you so much.
And just before I allow you to make the motion, I just want to stress that this is obviously a very sensitive topic, and the substance of this resolution is not a referendum on where people stand on ICE or immigration or anything of that ilk. This is simply an ordinance. It's a resolution supporting our neighboring town and also voicing the fact that we would not look to have something like this in our town. All right. Again, this is federal government. At the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do. But we feel very strongly about it. Councilman Sackett has been, very adamant about this going in. He's put in a lot of work on it, and I salute it. But again, this is no referendum on how you feel about the issue. This is just about keeping this out of our town.
Council President, if I can comment on that?
And you know what? Absolutely. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Again, I know that there's a lot of thoughts on this. We don't normally open resolutions for discussion amongst the council. But in a case like this, we'll let everybody, if they would like to say something on it. However, I am going to keep it to 1 minute.
To what?
1
Want
minute.
me to motion first?
That's
We can do it afterwards.
Okay.
It's not.
no. I mean, if anybody wishes to go beforehand, that has something to say prior. I don't know if Manny or maybe Susan has something there.
Well said by the president and vice president. It's very important.
Go ahead. That's it. So I reviewed this resolution that's there, and Jonathan, I applaud you for putting it together. I don't know if it was something that was copy and pasted or something that you had written and reviewed from our attorneys. But I just want to point out that this site has been in front of the Planning Board of Roxbury for quite some time. And I don't know if many of you understand that this was going through a massive review for zoning variances regarding this 500,000 square foot facility, which is basically 11 acres. And it's on a 110 acre tract. And through the zoning application in front of the planning board, the zoning board of Roxbury actually increased and exceeded its own zoning cap of occupancy from 49% to 99%. And the planning board minutes, the board justified a waiver for all of this because it's a great benefit of including economic development, highway access via routes 46 and 80, large wooded buffers, minimizing impacts on residents, and it outweighs any detriment.
Mr. Kelly, I'm going to.
So the concern,
Reclaim your time.
but
Kelly,
again, the concern that we have here
Mr.
is
Kelly,
that we've
please.
had other, a minute
Mr.
is not,
Kelly, you're out of order.
Mr.
Mr.
Morrison,
Kelly,
you were
you're out of
giving
order.
everybody a minute to speak. If nobody else is wishing to speak, I would want to consume some of that time.
Mr.
A minute
Kelly,
is not
we went
enough
down
to
that
address
route
this.
last meeting and you got
A minute is not going to address these issues that are here
Mr. Kelly.
because this is fear mongering
Mr. Kelly,
people
you're out of
in
order.
Rockaway of not providing all the truth.
You are out of order.
I'm not out of order.
Again, this is where we're not going to get into, you know, the internal workings of Roxbury and what they're doing.
We've had
All right, this is
Pondview,
Mr.
we've
Kelly.
had tax
you are out of-
appeals.
Let's,
Roxbury
let's
has
move on.
never defended Rockaway Township
Mr.
and
Kelly.
any of those negative impacts that we receive.
ICE detention facility?
Right. So let's not.
I don't
we're
have
moving
anything
on.
against
Mr.
any law
Councilman,
enforcement.
Mr. Kelly, please respect the rest of the council and the procedures that we have. You are consistently not respecting.
I would say the same,
your
Council
fellow council
President. A
members.
minute is not enough to address.
I didn't have to give any time. There's no time allowed during a resolution.
There's nothing in law that says that. There's no ordinance that says that. It's
my
your
discretion.
decision. That's the problem.
100%. Thank you for backing that
Right.
up.
So you want to take
Councilman
away my
Wojciechowski.
constitutional
Yeah,
right to speak.
Councilman,
I have a comment about the resolution as well. I mean, I guess kind of going along the lines with Councilman Kelly, what he just said. This is an issue in Roxbury. I don't know why we should be voting on something that has nothing to do within our jurisdiction. That's one. But two, from a law enforcement perspective, 9/11 happened after the 9/11 Commission did its investigation. 9/11 happened because of lack of communication with local law enforcement and federal agencies. And the executive order from the governor limits the cooperation from local enforcement and federal agencies. So, we always say never forget, and it's crazy how quickly we forgot. So this is something I'm definitely going to be against.
Lakeland Riley, Jacqueline Dungren,
Mr. Kelly,
Megan
you're out of
Voss,
order.
Rachel Morin, Marion Perez's daughter.
Mr. Kelly,
These are
you
people that were killed because the
Mr.
detainees were not
Kelly.
given to these individuals.
This is not about that. Stop making it about that.
It's
Councilwoman
fear
Freda,
mongering. Read the
Please stop
resolution.
taking other council people's time. Councilwoman Freda.
I just want to state for the record, I did not want to yield a minute of my time to what Mr. Kelly was saying. I agree with the resolution. No one in Roxbury was like this. So I was like, all right, we see you. We don't like it. We understand and we stand with you. That's it.
Councilwoman Roy.
I basically agree with Sophia, and this is ridiculous that you're not. No.
Councilman Quinn.
Thank you. The federal government's going to do what it wants to do. What New Jersey does or what this council does or Roxbury has nothing and no bearing on it. The government is going to do what it wants. So I'm for it.
Councilman Friedlander?
Just want to say there's nothing wrong with supporting a local town that is near our border for this reason. It's a matter of opinion, whether it's right or wrong, but in the scheme of things, it doesn't belong in Morris County.
Where does it
My opinion.
belong, Manny? Where does it belong?
Please stop taking his time.
What would be a better place?
Mr. Kelly, you're out of order.
Do you have an idea?
Mr. Kelly. Please. I'm sorry, sir.
Bruce.
Sir. Are you done? Okay, can you?
I'll make the motion.
You have to read it.
My glasses on. Resolution 26-51, a resolution opposing location of immigration and customs enforcement processing detention facility within the township of Roxbury and endorsing executive order number 12 made by Governor Sherrill on February 11th, 2026.
I'll second it.
Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Voitovich,
No.
Councilmember Freelander,
Yes.
Councilmember Royak,
Yes.
Councilmember Frede,
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn,
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly,
Absolutely not.
Council Vice President Sackett,
Absolutely, yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes. 7 yeses, 2 nos, resolution passes. Okay. At this point, we're going to open it up to the public. Do we have the sign-in sheet? Got it. Sorry. Okay, before opening the public portion of this meeting, I want to remind everyone of the rules that apply to anyone who wants to address the council. Any member of the public wishing to address the council will have 3 minutes to do so. While an extension of time may be requested, it should not be assumed that an extension of time will be granted. While addressing the council, members of the public may not address or question any individual council member. If anyone addressing the council violates these rules or conducts themselves inappropriately, their speaking opportunity will be terminated and they will be instructed to return to their seat. A refusal to comply will result in removal from the room. Members of the public in attendance may not make comments from the audience without recognition by the chair. Persons doing so will be subject to removal from the room. As council president, I have tremendous respect for my fellow council members and the public to take the time and effort to attend council meetings. These rules are necessary to protect and respect, but also to permit the council to do its business in an orderly and professional manner. When I call your name, please approach the mic, state your name and address for the record. And as a reminder, there is a 3-minute time limit. Michael Ilardi.
Michael Lardy, 19 North Brookside Drive. I'd just like to say to the DPW and Al, they're just showing off now. It's getting ridiculous. All night long, the roads are clear. It's amazing how they do it. The town should come over here and get a lesson. As to the ICE resolution, I hope to see a resolution in the near future saying that we're going to support law enforcement when they do want to collect the criminals, so they're not just being released out into the public. If you're so strong about not wanting them detained here, we don't need to detain them if we just turn them over when we find them. The last meeting, we wasted a lot of time on wanting a separate vote for one resolution. We went back and forth why we're not going to do it. We couldn't get a second to pull that one resolution for the vote. It would have been simple to say, okay, we'll pull it and everyone could vote the way they want on the 2 separate motions. But that doesn't happen. Tonight, we wasted more time because it wasn't reflected in the minutes. And I was at the meeting and it happened. It should be reflected in the minutes. Then I know there's a conflict with Councilman Kelly, but when he asks for a motion, not one person can second it. Why not second it and then stand behind your vote? Let him have his motion and everyone could vote against him every time he wants a motion. But at least get it on record. Because it just looks like bickering. It's getting back to when Jeremy was running the show here, which it's going to become embarrassing if this continues. It's only been a couple of meetings and it's starting already. So hopefully You can maybe view the YouTube and see what it looks like from our perspective and work together, even if you can't stand each other. I'm on a board. We don't always agree. We don't always like each other, but we try. We try. Doesn't always happen, but we do try to take into account at what we look like to the public, because it's been brought to our attention and I'm bringing it to your attention. Thank you.
Francesca Norden.
Francesca Norden, 53 Cayuga Avenue, Rockaway Township. I'm a pediatric nurse and a retired pediatric nurse practitioner. My nursing practice began in and is steadfast in being an advocate for children. Therefore, I'm very concerned for all the children who have a parent, legal guardian, aunt, uncle, cousin, or grandparents who serve in any capacity of law enforcement. I believe they experience all the negative statements and report of activity against immigration, customs, and enforcement as harassment, intimidation, and bullying. Immediately when I learned of the NJEA recommending teachers wear blue against ICE on January 23rd, 2026, harassment, intimidation, and bullying infractions against the children came to mind. It's very likely that the children heard the buzz about this at school. My concern for HIB against children related to law enforcement officers resurfaced when I learned that on February 22nd, there was a planned anti-ICE walkout in the Mount Olive Middle School. Who organized this for children in their tween years? In another state, a child was injured when out of school during school hours on one of these protest events. Anyway, this made me come here, these two events back to back. As per the Census Bureau, in July of 24, New Jersey population is 9,500,851 people. 21 are under 18 years old, so about 2 million people. All of our children are being affected by political posturing. We know they hear it everywhere. Most of our young ones will not speak up for themselves when they experience harassment, intimidation, and bullying. There is no time to discuss the behaviors children will manifest as they attempt to deal with the stress related to the pressures they experience in the midst of repeated political-related rhetoric. I implore our town council to please let children be children. And I just also want to add that I think this R2651, you should have split out both the things. They're very different. The executive order from Mickey Sherrill and ICE buying the property. I think you should have had them separate and vote on them separately. Thank you.
Thank you. Lisa Ginder.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm at 136 Birch Street in Dover, technically Rockaway Township, because you know. So first of all, I want to say thank you for putting forward the resolution. You see what's happening across the country. I live in Dover. I know I'm in Rockaway Township, but it is Dover, and there's no such thing as discrimination when it comes to getting lists of where people live. And we all know Dover's a target. So I don't want that violence on my streets. I just don't. I really don't. I live in a really great neighborhood. I live in a neighborhood that I specifically chose for the school systems, for the location, for the safety, for the neighborly aspect. And I have Hispanic neighbors, and we know that Hispanic people are being targeted. And I grew up in a family hearing a grandfather who liberated concentration camps in World War II. Like, it just blows my mind. So moving on from that, thank you. The second part that I want to address is I feel like I'm having a deja vu moment here, because I came forward about this maybe about a year and a half ago or so, is speeding. Speaking of my lovely, safe neighborhood, I don't live on a main street with a double yellow line. I live on a side street, but I also live on a side street that people tend to cut through to get to the road of a double yellow line. And I came here, I complained about it, and I was told who to contact, contacted said individuals. They came out and they put a little white box on a street sign across from my house. We sat there and we watched. We literally saw the cops pull over multiple people right in front of my house because they were speeding. So again, nothing happened of it. I was told that I had to contact a certain person whose name I don't remember. If I dig into my email, I can find it. Not important at the moment. However, I reached out a couple of times and to no result. I still don't know the result of the speed study that happened on my road that me and several of my neighbors asked for. So, there's that. But in addition to that, with all this lovely snow that we've gotten, my road is now significantly more narrow. I've had to park in the street. And because of that, I literally almost got hit the other night because some jerk, sorry, I was going to say something else, trying to be more respectful. Some jerk decided speeding's cool when it's dark out. So, and meanwhile, I'm getting out of a white car. So it's not like you can't see me. I'm there. I'm clearly right there. I'm in your headlights. So yes, I would love for that to be revisited. I would love to know who I can escalate that to, given that the speed study clearly did nothing. Thank you very much.
April Patira.
Hello, good evening. April Matera Patiro, 14 Dudek Road, Rockaway. Good evening, Council President and Council members. My husband coaches 3rd and 4th grade rec basketball in the township. What he tries to teach the girls is the goal of the game, working together to get the ball in the basket. It's such a simple concept that can be applied to so many other things. For example, this council. Each of you, both new and returning members, have been elected to represent your ward and district. You bring unique skills to the council, and by working together, you can achieve great things for our community. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case so far this year. We're aware there's a long history on this council, but from the perspective of the public, it doesn't appear there's much teamwork. As a resident of Ward 6, my councilman, Mr. Kelly, was elected to represent us, and I would like to hear what he has to say. And that was to be my only comment until I saw the ordinance about the Roxbury Ice Facility. I'm wondering what the point was of adding that, except to further polarize this already divided community. Thank you.
Bruce. I'm sorry, I don't want to mess up the last name. Wiener, sorry.
Thank you for the respect. Bruce Weiner, 24111 Freddie Lane, Rockaway, New Jersey. I wasn't going to speak about ICE. I'm Jewish. My grandfather escaped Nazi Germany. 6 million Jews died mainly because countries would not take immigrants that are hardworking immigrants, not criminals, into our country. I support the Roxbury cause because it could be here. I also would like to address the whole council that let's work on what we agree upon and not polarize ourselves on what we disagree on. Because I guarantee you, we can agree on 80% of the things. So I ask you, I beg of you, work on what we can agree on, and what we can't agree on, table it, park it, and we'll discuss it later and come to a compromise. That's how politics is supposed to work. It's not working in the Congress and you see what's happening. This is a smaller town. Please, all of you, you all have things in common that you can agree upon. I think the other thing I was coming here to speak about was affordable housing. I am 66 years old. Housing has more than tripled. And I'm worried if I'm going to be able to afford it in 10 years. We got to address affordable housing, and on these pilot programs, put limits on the amount of rent that Avalon, which is very known for raising their rates. I know because I lived there in Boothton, And that's why I'm in Rockaway, because Avalon raised my rent from $2,000 to $4,000. So there has to be affordable housing, and it has to be addressed. Not everyone is Rockefeller, but we just, I grew up in peaceful town, the 60s. I grew up in New York City, 93rd and Western Avenue, where immigrants lived with Upper West Siders that were considered upper class, middle class. The apartment I lived in was is worth $3 million now. But we got along with our neighbors because they were hardworking neighbors. Not everybody is a criminal. And no, coming across for the record, coming across the border illegally does not make you a criminal.
I'm sorry,
It's
Mr. Weiner,
not
just,
in the criminal.
we're at our 3 minutes, just so you can finish your thought.
Okay, it's not in the criminal docket. It's an administration thing. So nobody should be separating children's. And we gotta, even the people that are criminals, we gotta treat them humanely. And a for-profit, I don't want to come in here in Rockaway, I'll tell you that right now.
Mr.
A
Weiner,
for-profit,
I have to start you.
for-profit
I understand.
ice facility.
Listen, I gave you some extra
has
time.
I know. has
I gotta
no
ask you-
afford- All right.
Thank you. I get it though. Thank you. Okay, is there anybody from the public that didn't fill out the sheet that wishes to speak? Okay, moving on to the consent agenda, R 2646, R 2647, R 2648, R 2649, and R 2650.
Council President?
Yeah.
You have to close open to the public before we go into the next portion of the meeting.
No.
Okay.
Can I have a motion?
So move.
I'll second. Clerk, please take the roll.
Councilmember Salberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander.
Yes.
Councilmember Royak.
Yes.
Councilmember Frede.
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly.
I just want to thank the veterans that are in this tax, veterans that are there. Yes, on the consent agenda.
Yes.
Yes.
Council Vice President Sackett.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 9 yeses, motion carries. For new business, Savannah Jacobs, up for junior membership, fire company number 1. Can I have a motion?
I'll make the
Sorry,
motion.
second. Give that to Manny.
Do a choice.
I have Quinn and Manny for that. Councilmember Salberg.
Yes.
Councilmember Vojtovich.
Yes.
Councilmember Freelander.
Yes.
Councilmember Royak.
Yes.
Councilmember Frede.
Yes.
Councilmember Quinn.
Yes.
Councilmember Kelly.
Yes.
Council Vice President Sackett.
Yes.
Council President Morrison.
Yes, it's 9 yeses, motion carries. Congratulations. Okay, moving on to council reports.
Council
Once
President,
again,
I just had one thing to add for new business. I had spoken to the mayor about it previously, just to put on there. Thank you for that. And Mr. Mayor, we were just talking about it before. We have the moving wall for the Veterans Memorial that's coming up for June 2nd to June 6th. I'm sorry, July. That's on there. And originally on the notice that we had, it was on the 22nd of December of 2025. There was a notice that has it located at Hudsonia Field. And then recently on the 21st of February of this year, it is now stated that it's there on Peterson Field. And one, we need to make the correction on there. Two, both notices are great when they're putting it together. However, the first notice that was in December of last year actually has a visual of the wall, where the new notice is just sounding like colors surrounding it and whatnot. So I had made a mention to Mayor Jackson in regards to that. My question, and I think Joe did answer it somewhat, and it may be some difficulty, I thought a better place would be Park Lake to have the wall. We have our VFW that are there. We have the Presbyterian Cemetery that is part Rockaway Borough, Rockaway Township, where veterans are buried. We have the cemetery across the street. And I think it could be a combined effort. And it is, again, it's a continuity of residents that walk around there. And plus our own memorial that we have, it would be almost like a continuation of that. It would be great to do that if possible. I know there could be some troubling things from what we discussed before. The other, not so much space. I think it's.
Listen, let's let the councilman finish his
No,
thoughts.
and I appreciate Manny's input on that. The other thing is with Memorial Day, we get these flyers that go through that are handed out when there's the borough and the township, and it was the 155th annual program that will be this year, and it has all the names of those who had deceased in all the wars that we have leading up to where we're at. My father and his twin or his Irish twin brother are in this book, and Joe knows my position on veterans, and I know your position too, Joe. I appreciate that. I was hoping maybe because we have a 250-year celebratory thing for our nation and all the men and women that are service that protected our nation to where we're at today, I thought maybe we can do something and put it on our webpage. Maybe we can get this in the PDF. Maybe we can put the Rockaway residents that are veterans, even our employees, because our veterans page, it just shows like veteran affairs and stuff like that. And I was hoping that we could have more information on the veterans section, including even pictures of the servicemen and women that are on our flags that we put up in the warmer months. It's just something to look at. I don't know how difficult it would be for IT to include all this information on there for people that don't have the ability to attend any of this, that maybe moved out of state, or families of those people that live out of state, to be able to go online rather than only be able to get it physically in person. So that's my thing for new business on that. Absolutely.
Just maybe just put in the book as a PDF, on the website. So the whole thing will be on there.
Exactly.
Its name will be on there. Yeah, I think it's a good
I
idea.
mean, we could still add a little bit more to it because of the pictures that I think we have 18 flags right now that are there.
Listen, I think that the attention and recognition that's been given to the veterans as of late has been nothing short of exceptional. Councilman Witovich led the effort to get the banners put up. He secured funding for that at no cost to the township, and he had those veterans banners put up. I know that Councilman Quinn had before the meeting given some, recommendations to the mayor. I thank the mayor for taking all the recommendations. I know there's probably more to it than we know, space and things like that. But the fact that we're talking about it this much, I think is a pretty good thing. So, okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Moving on to reports. Again, we're going to hold it to 3 minutes. I'm actually going to go first this time. So one, let me start it started. You can monitor me. Mr. Mouth, I'm surprised you're not sleeping. I was very surprised to see you here. So I'd like to start off the love show that you're going to receive here tonight. I was talking to Councilman Sackett about some of the other towns and even driving around, heads above what the other towns are doing. So I know that, obviously there's going to be here and there where people have some individual issues, but you and your team are to be commended. So thank you for that. I want to thank Ms. Ferrante. I brought to her an issue before this past storm. After the last storm, I had a lot of concerns about snow removal at the mall. On Ring Road there, the lane nearest to the curb, you could not drive in. About half of that lane was taken up with snow. It was very unsafe as cars were trying to merge into one lane. She immediately responded, and within 24 hours, I know she brought the hammer down with them, and they went and they cleared it up. So thank you for that. I do want to say something, really, for Bruce and some of the other people that are bringing it up. The council working together doesn't mean that everybody has to agree, right? I see the council working together as different viewpoints. right? And, that's been some of the things that I've heard in the past as well. Everybody just kind of agrees with each other and it's a rubber stamp and that's it. I welcome, differing viewpoints. I think it's exceptional for other people to bring different perspectives to things. On the condition that it's done respectfully and within the procedures of the council and the way this council has operated for many, many years. We have to respect the process. We have to respect that there's going to be different opinions, right? And until recently, it hasn't been a problem, right? And there are certain procedures that have to be followed. And I feel very strongly about that. In the past, I've tried to commend Mr. Kelly on some of the things that he's done, that also backfired on me. But, I think I like his viewpoints, on a lot of things. He does his homework, right? But there is a process that has to be followed and we have to respect that process. And that's all I'm asking for. Nobody's trying to stifle anybody's voice. Nobody's trying to do any of that. But if we don't follow proper procedures and respect each other's, then it's all going to fall apart. Exactly 3 minutes.
Very good.
Thank you. I'll give you.
I'm second.
You could have second.
Thank you, Council President. Just to reiterate what the Council President said. Al and his team, excellent work. My daughter's in college and tomorrow will be their third straight day not being able to have classes because their town has done a poor job with the snow removal. They're stuck online. So great job to your team. I know there'll be some hiccups here and there. Nothing will ever be perfect. Life is not perfect, but you're doing a great job. I attended the Morris Hills and at Morristown varsity basketball game last Tuesday, February 17th. We came up short against Morristown, but we did tie to win the NJAC conference. So it was the first Morris Hills boys basketball title since 1992. So very excited for that. We do play, if you're looking for something to do, Friday, 6:00. We are in the state tournament at, I believe, Joe's, one of your hometowns, at Wayne Valley. So Coach McClay and the whole varsity team wishing you best of luck. And I pray my son will get in for a minute or two. Hopefully he's a sophomore on the team. So great going down there. And coming up soon at the clubhouse, Mike, you didn't mention, I know you always love mentioning stuff for the clubhouse. There's going to be next week. I was at the Chabad breakfast on Sunday, February 22nd with Councilman Friedlander. On Tuesday, March 23rd at the White Meadow Lake Clubhouse, 4:30 p.m. Purim Festival. So I hope to see you there. Hope you can make it there. Yeah. All are invited. So all are invited. And that'll be the Purim Festival. So there'll be a little dancing in there. So 4:30. Purim? Yeah. Purim. Purim. It's at the White Meadow Lake Clubhouse, 4:30.
It's a Jewish holiday.
Tuesday, March 3rd. So Bruce, looking forward to seeing you there.
In costume?
In costume.
In costume.
So, and that's all I have. Thank you. You can always dress. Purim's a dress up
Yes,
holiday.
you dress up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm glad for all the interest in Purim. Councilman Kelly.
I'm going to go right back at Al. Same thing, Al. I think we talked about it before. Snow Zero, Al, is at 5 now. That's on there. And the hours that you put into it, Al, I mean, I'm out in the same elements and I see you guys all over the place from plowing for a day. But one thing I wanted to make sure everybody knows that Al puts in all these hours overseas and actually plows himself, but you don't get overtime. Nothing, correct? I appreciate that. And you go above and beyond and you always have, and you are a definite role model leader for the men and women that work underneath you. Appreciate that, Mr. Noth. Chief, stop signs, Torton and Whippoorwill, and I've seen the status of that. It's getting worse now that it's a little bit more narrow, the roads, because of the snow. More again of Amazon, DHS, all those people that are driving through Uber and stuff like that. So that is one problem. Also, there was a stop sign that's down on Decker and Dearly. It might be, maybe it was just pushed up with the piles. I noticed that when I was plowing up there, and it was down. And then one additional thing, maybe Mr. Yetrafano, you can help me, is we had a matter that was filed in the courts, Albert versus Rockaway Township. Unfortunately, we were not successful in that case, retaliating against a police officer. Following that on e-courts, I noticed that there was a motion for attorney fees for the prevailing party. And then I saw that it was withdrawn and due to a settlement. But I don't recall in January having a settlement come before this council for our approval under our code. And they were searching for close to $500,000 in attorney fees. Can you update this council?
Mr. Yetrafano, 1 second. I want to let him finish his 3 minutes, and then during your report, I'll ask you to respond.
If you can then provide that information and when it will be before the council, and if any payments have been made to that firm as well as the plaintiff. Thank you.
Councilman Quinn.
Thank you. And I've always said Al and his crew have done a beautiful job for this town. They could teach other towns how to do it. It's fantastic. I want to also thank the first responders for going out in this crazy weather and their families for letting them go there. You know, when you're out 12, 14 hours plowing and your family's home, you know, it's the family that's holding the fort for you. So thank you very much for everything you guys do. All right, the other thing is, any updates on Peterson Field? You know, I'm sitting here waiting on plans and everything else. So if we can get that before us soon, I'd appreciate that. All right, so that's done. Girls and boys basketball recreation is coming to an end. And of course, the sign up for all the spring sports is going on. So please, if you want to coach, please get involved with your kids' programs. We're always looking for coaches. Those are the programs that need it. It's great to give back to your kids by doing so. Other than that, that's it, sir.
Councilwoman Freire.
Again, thank you again for doing such a wonderful job clearing the roads. My daughter in middle school does not thank you at all. I would stay away from the middle school. They know, and they're surprisingly clever with their barbs. But on behalf of us adults who have to drive places, thank you very much. And to the road safety, please be careful. Like the roads are looking very clear, but there's always going to be reckless drivers. So like, I'm afraid like the only way would really, if you see someone driving very unsafely, please don't hesitate to report them and just be careful out there.
Councilwoman Roy.
Same, Mr. Noth, for your fabulous crew for helping with the snow. It's greatly appreciated. I just do want to mention to neighbors to help neighbors, because I know there's some people that needed help. I just wish neighbors would reach out to neighbors if they can do it to help them shovel or plow, whatever. I went to the Board of
No.
I went to the Board of Education meeting on February 18th, and I wasn't aware that there's shortage of bus drivers. I know some parents spoke about late bus pickups, and they're going to try to address that with hiring for bus drivers. Stony Brook had a little awards presentation for the student council members for all they do for their classmates in the school. And I saw a preview of SpongeBob the Musical that Copeland will be putting on in March, and many talented singers were there, and it seems like a nice thing to support. I think that's it. Thank you. Oh, and sorry, the resident on Birch Street, if you can give me your information, because I am your council person, and I also do have speeding issues that it's ongoing. So, contact me, please. Okay, thank you.
Councilman Friedlander. I'm doing reverse roll call order.
That's okay. Lights on. Before I forget, Al, I want it to be, it's going to be 9-0 for your department.
Yep.
Incredible. Really, I can't say enough.
I'm sorry, very fortunate that it's right before the budget meeting, but
Yeah.
we'll start your 3 minutes again.
How's the salt doing? Are we in good shape? Hey, right on top of it, like always. Thank you. Library, the committee is going back to the architect because the bid that came in, I talked about they want to finally do all the bathrooms in the main building, the main library, and they came with an unbelievable figure, which they're not going to accept. We have the money for it, but they just think that we can just sign a check off, and we're not going to do it. Substance abuse, I keep on mentioning, with our program in the Copeland, the celebrities for the Celebrity Day are picked, and if you want to be there that day, it's going to be incredible showing, and there's going to be a basketball game between some of the celebrities and the students and teachers. That's the substance abuse. Historical Society haven't brought up anything yet. They're just trying to figure out what's going to be doing once the weather hits and the programs that we're going to set up. And that is it.
Councilman Witovich?
I'm just going to comment more on the resolution with the ICE resolution. I had only 1 minute before, now I got 3, right? The executive order restricts cooperation between local law enforcement and the federal agency. And there are real consequences to that. I know at least 2 cases myself where a person that was an illegal was arrested, and yet because the local municipality can't notify ICE, that person was released, and then he killed a mother and 3 kids, or 2 kids. And so there's real public safety danger to this by not cooperating with federal agencies. The ICE agents that are operating right there on the streets, and people see them going there in 10, 20 of them, if local law enforcement agencies were allowed to cooperate, all you would need is 2 agents to go to county jail, pick the person up, and transfer them to their custody. But because of these policies, that's why they have to go out there 10, 20 and make the arrest that they have to make. So, I think it's also disingenuous when I hear some people make comments about ICE agents and World War II and concentration camps. Being an immigrant from Poland, and I actually visited Auschwitz several times, and I understand the history of it. This is not it. So
Please,
you
please,
guys,
please, please, please.
this is completely wrong. And like I said, disingenuous to compare ICE agents to Nazis. That's all I have.
Can I have the remainder?
No. Hang on.
Can I
Please,
have-
please. I'm asking you not to. I'm asking you not to.
Council President, can I have his remainder time that he
No.
can use?
Sorry, no. Councilman Selberg.
Thank you, Council President. First, again, thank you, Al. I live in one of the hillier sections of Hibernia, and you guys are lifesavers. So I appreciate that. Few reports. Regional Board of Ed, unfortunately, their meeting was scheduled for last night, so that didn't go well. Went virtual, was not able to connect. Next meeting will be March 16th. Hopefully have a report on that. Morris County Commissioners, few items. First resolution 2026-121. The Arrive Together grant program, $283,000. This is a grant for alternative responses to reduce instances of violence and escalation. Rockaway Township, many other towns are partnered with Mental Health Association of Essex and Morris and are eligible for this grant. I believe it's open now and will be remaining open until the beginning of 2027. So hope we can partake in that. Second was Resolution 2026-123. This was simply the commission adopting our ordinance 25-17, which we approved November 25th, converting Struble Lane to the one-way to Slope Drive. So it's official now in the county. Really one final piece with the county commissioners. I finished my term with Open Space Trust Fund at the end of 2025. It was a great opportunity to contribute to my county and my town. Over the weekend, I received a letter from the county commissioners. It appears that one of their at-large members is unable to complete their term, so they elected me to finish out their 2026 term as an at-large with Open Space Trust Fund. So again, I hope to, again, continue to try to do great work and preserve as much space as possible.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Hang on. I know that Mr. Yatrafano and the mayor both have reports. I'm still holding you to the same 3 minutes. And I'm going to ask when Mr. Yatrafano speaks that nobody from the council interrupts him and let him have his 3 minutes. Mr. Yatrafano.
Thank you, Council President. As to Mr. Kelly, Councilman Kelly's questions about the Albert case, I know very little. My firm was not part of the defense of that lawsuit. I visited the courtroom just because I was interested in the opening arguments of counsel. I was there for maybe 3 hours or so on one day. I do know the case was handled by counsel appointed by the township's insurance carriers. I really just have no personal familiarity with what has gone on since the verdict was rendered, so I won't speculate.
Your invoices
Thank you.
show
Mr.
otherwise.
Kelly?
Your invoices, you billed the town.
Mr. Kelly,
to
I
be involved
asked
with that matter.
specifically not to interrupt, and Mr. Kelly.
Well, we're
this is
sitting
not-
here listening to our labor,
Mr.
I mean, our
Kelly,
town attorney
please
tell us that
respect
we had
the
no
rest
knowledge
of
of
the
that.
council. Please respect the council. This is exactly what I was talking about. There is processes and procedures to be followed, and you were out of order.
And I appreciate that, Mr. Morrison.
Mayor,
The
you
problem
have your
is
3
that
minutes
I have
starting
an
now.
attorney that says that he had no knowledge
Mr.
of
Kelly,
it.
you're out of order yet again.
Did you invoice that, Mr. Yatrafano?
Mr. Kelly?
I want to respond to Councilman Quinn's question. So back in June of 2024, the council approved the conceptual plans for Peterson Field. So the next step was to get formal drawings done, and it's been time consuming. So after we presented to the council, we got feedback from several council members. We then put out, I think, a survey monkey to the public. We solicited feedback from the public in terms of things they'd like to see. There's been a lot of back and forth with the design requirements because of things like wind shear, because we're putting up a gazebo, what's it called, a pavilion. And so the footing sizes, all these things. There's been a lot of back and forth. And frankly, my approach with things like this is I don't want to rush into something and make a decision. So we're taking our time to make sure we get it right. When we get to the phase where we have the final plans approved and all that, we'll certainly present them to the public. The other thing I wanted to say was to the new council, the 3 new council members, if you want to see the conceptual plans that the former council had approved, we can set up some time for you all to come in and go through them at your leisure with myself and the township engineer. So I hope that answers your question. Everybody's complimenting Al. One of the things none of the council members talked about, it's Al also sends out the weather alerts to everybody.
Oh, they're amazing.
So it's like as the day is going on, all of a sudden look at my phone, oh crap, there's another email from Al. And it's like, now it's 18 inches. And it's like, so, but you know, and it just, it's like, Councilman Kelly was saying, Al's out there just being a leader. And I think I said it at the last meeting. And that's why I think one of the main reasons we have a lot of people that work hard, but they have a leader that sets an example for them. So appreciate all you do, Al. I'm going to get with Shannon tomorrow, Councilman Kelly, and all your feedback on the veterans. I like all the
Thank you.
ideas. And I have talked to the mayor of the borough, Chief Scher and Chief Pepperman, and they're evaluating they're doing an analysis over the whole dispatch idea you had.
Oh,
So
great.
I don't want to, again, I want to take my
That's
time.
would be our idea, though.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah. So yes, so we're going through that too. I wanted to give you an update on that. Senior prom registration is still open for 2 more weeks. It's a free event. I think the only thing is you need to bring some type of non-perishable food for the Rockaway Food Pantry. Had a MAC bowling event with the police over the weekend. Great turnout by our police force and by the borough police force and the borough mayor. And actually, those of you who live in Birchwood, Principal Rivera was there. I think she started this year. She's already involved in the community and going to things. My time's up. Okay. I have about 6 other things, but that's okay. Thank you.
Can we
Okay,
make an exception?
final-
Can we make an exception for the mayor to finish the 6 other items?
Mr. Kelly, please let me run my meeting.
Sorry, Mayor.
Final thought, all the council members now have their budget books. So thank you, Ms. Palmieri, for putting those together. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for helping put those together. As in years past, if you have questions on it, we have a couple of weeks before the meeting. Please put the questions in an email to our business administrator and CFO so we can get you the proper information today. Mr. Selberg did a great job of that. I then will take those answers and forward them to everybody. In a couple of cases, I know Mr. Sackett, he had the same question, so we'll just save a lot of time. So I ask you guys to do that. Thank you very much. Motion to adjourn by consensus. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
I'm sorry.